What's up guys, Noor here and welcome to Book of Showtime Chapter 22. As always, if you enjoy these videos, make sure to like and share with your friends. And if you have a topic you'd like for me to cover for Book of Showtime, be sure to leave it in the comment section down below or anywhere you can reach me on social media or the Book of Showtime Discord. So Ben says, characters you would like to see in Mortal Kombat 1. Maybe also get some choices from other people too. So recently, Mortal Kombat 1 was announced with a release date of September 19th, which, for the record, I really love when games come out within 6 to 8 months of being revealed. It's awesome. You don't have to wait too long, but I digress. I wouldn't say I'm a big fan of Mortal Kombat, but it is probably my favorite fighting game series as I'm actually pretty decent in it, and it's easy for me to learn as opposed to Street Fighter and Marvel. I can't really learn those games. Mortal Kombat, I've always been comfortable playing that. I played a ton of Mortal Kombat 9 and Mortal Kombat X, but kind of missed out on Mortal Kombat 11, which is a shame because almost every character looked really fun to play. But I do look forward to playing Mortal Kombat 1 since a few of my friends will be getting it and it's going to be crossplay, so I can play with anybody. That'd be awesome. Every fighting game needs crossplay. In today's chapter, I'll be going over a few characters I'd like to see make it in, as well as some suggestions from you guys as well. I'm going to start off with a couple of characters I would like to see return to Mortal Kombat, and that's Nitara and Shujinko. Nitara was a vampire lady that debuted back in Deadly Alliance, and she showed up again in Armageddon but hasn't been playable since. And she actually appeared in the Mortal Kombat movie, which was pretty surprising as she's kind of a lesser known character in the world of MK. And because these videos are PG, that's all I'm going to say about Nitara. As for Shujinko, he was actually a pretty important character in the original timeline. He first debuted in Mortal Kombat Deception as the protagonist of the game's Conquest mode, and he was a unique character in the sense that you learned all his abilities from the fighters you trained under. So by the end of the game, he would have Scorpion Spear, he would have Ermac's Slam, he would even have his own version of Raiden's Torpedo Attack. With the timeline being reset, it would make sense for Shujinko to appear in some capacity, being as in some timelines he trained Liu Kang, and in some timelines Liu Kang trained him. I think it would be cool if he showed up this time with the moves of characters who aren't in the game since he's a traveled warrior. There's a lot of characters that probably aren't going to be coming back, but it would be cool if their essence lived on through Shujinko. So Amy says, my top returning character, who's a mid character by the way, extremely mid, is reportedly in the first DLC pass, so I'm mostly good there, but guest characters are such a hard question because while I love guests, I don't want to see any of my favorite characters get brutalized. Keeping with the horror tradition, I would love to see some kind of scream rep though. I do get that though. As much as I would like to see Leon Kennedy in a fighting game, it sure as heck won't be Mortal Kombat. I don't need to see D'Vorah do something nasty to him. Now, if D'Vorah wanted to do something nasty to me, moving on. As for a Scream crossover, I'm not 100% sure how that would work as the mask, the Ghostface mask, is independent from the Scream IP, so it's a little tricky when you're trying to get the rights for that. But Warner Brother owns NetherRealm Studios and Warner Brother has a lot of money, so maybe some magic can happen. Now the thing with Ghostface is that it's a mantle and about a dozen characters have been under the mask, but the voice is usually the same, so it really doesn't matter who's donning the cloak. While Ghostface doesn't have any powers or extreme resiliency like Jason or Leatherface, they've historically been very crafty individuals and adept to using their surroundings to claim their victims, so maybe we'll see some sort of gadget type character accustomed to who you see in the Injustice games. So Ben says, for returning characters, I would like to see Kung Jin from Mortal Kombat X. Was one of my mains in that game with a fun moveset and intriguing backstory. I was upset when he was cut from Mortal Kombat 11, so much more could have been done with him. Guest characters, Michael Myers and Deadpool. I'm actually in the same boat as Ben here, just with Takeda. I main Takeda and MKX. He felt like a more fun version of MK9 Scorpion at his basics, and I was disappointed to see him not make it into MK11. Especially because it seemed like they were establishing like the next generation of Mortal Kombat characters, and then all of a sudden, Jin and Takeda just disappear. You know, what are you doing? Jin, though, he was a really cool character. He was hilarious in the story and his interactions, and his archery-based kit really made him stand out amongst the cast. I don't think we've had a true archer character. I know Nightwolf fires like that bow, that green bow with like the energy bow, but there's no actual archer in the cast. Now, with all the horror reps that we've seen, I know Ben has wanted to see Michael Myers in for a while. He's a big Halloween fan, and it would keep in with the theme of horror characters making an appearance. I wouldn't be surprised if Myers has a similar kit to Jason, and it's actually a shame that we never had Freddy, Jason, Leatherface, and Myers in the same game. And Myers is the one holdout from the Rushmore of slashers though, and it would be really neat to see him make an appearance. As for Deadpool, this would fit as Wade Wilson is a pretty unhinged and violent individual in the comics, and being that Mortal Kombat sometimes has DC characters crossover, this could be the closest we get to a DC versus Marvel fighting game, provided a DC character does make it into MK11. My friend Alejandro says Borracho. But Raicho's a pretty important character in the lore as he actually trained the aforementioned Shun Jinko and both Liu Kang and Kung Lao, so he probably has a place in this new MK universe as Liu Kang has a lot of fondness for the Master of the Drunken Fist. But Raicho most recently appeared in MKX where he had a cameo in the story before he was released as a DLC fighter in the second combat pack, which was really cool. He was from the PS2 era of Mortal Kombat, and I wouldn't be shocked if a lot of these characters don't come back. They were pretty hit or miss. If you go back and look at Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon, like all those rosters, it's like, yeah, we don't really need characters like Cobra, you know, or Kira. We can do without those characters. My oldest brother, Dennis, not my friend Dennis, my oldest brother, Dennis, says Quan Chi. I'm gonna be honest with you, I hate Quan Chi. As a character, I hate him. He's fine in the gameplay, he's fine, but I hate him as a character. Like in the lore, I hate him, and I'm glad he's quote unquote dead because it seems like everybody who died came back in like the next game. I would honestly be a little surprised if Quan Chi didn't make it back, as he's teamed with Shang Tsung in the past, and being that Liu Kang is stronger than ever, Shang Tsung is probably going to need all the help he can get, even if that means teaming with Quan Chi again. Quan Chi is like Shang Tsung in the sense that they're both generational haters, and they have beef with pretty much every Mortal Kombat character in one way or another. Like I'm not making that up. I think if you trace hatred to Quan Chi and Shang Tsung, I think everybody has a gripe with them. Even the people they team with still probably hate them. They just, let me team with you for now just to help me get to my goals, and then I'm probably going to kill you. Mortal Kombat 1 is going to need some reputable villains, both old and new, and with Quan Chi riding the pine in MK11, I expect he'll be back in some form for Mortal Kombat 1. Before I end this video, I do want to talk about an interesting pick I like to see as a guest character. Originally, I was going to talk about Wesker from Resident Evil, as a while back I know I mentioned when there's any type of videos like this, I'm probably going to mention Resident Evil or Call of Duty in some way, but I decided on someone a little different, and that's Sam Fisher. Since Sam Fisher has appeared in everything but a Splinter Cell the last decade, I figured why not jump into a fighting game. Now, he might fit more in a game like Injustice, but Mortal Kombat 11 had Rambo, and Sam Fisher is a soldier just like Rambo, only more modern and gadget-based as opposed to Rambo's guerrilla tactics. Sam has been around for a long time, he's faced many threats, and he wouldn't have trouble acclimating to fighting ninjas, demons, and monsters. It's a deep bag of abilities and between all the weapons he can use, the gadgets, his natural abilities at his disposal, his bag is deep, and as far as military characters go, he's actually pretty powerful in what he's allowed to do. The President of the United States in Splinter Cell gave Fisher the 5th freedom, which basically means Sam can do whatever he deems necessary to protect the United States. Long story short, he's bringing a nuke to our world. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Let me know down below who you want to see in Mortal Kombat 1, whether it's a returning character or a guest character. Inshallah, I will see you in the next chapter.